topic for this video is chemical quantities. The essential questions are, how do we convert from one unit to another? So we're going to be using dimensional analysis, and I will tell you in class as well that this is probably the single most usable and important thing you will learn in this class this year. And the reason why is that you can use it for lots of different things. It's a way to solve a problem. So, for example, we're going to use some non-chemistry examples to get started. How much money would you need for gas to go 320 miles if your car gets 28 miles per gallon and gas costs $2.50 per gallon? Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is write your known, which is the piece of information you're starting with. So 320 miles. I'm going to draw a line on it, and it's going to be under it, and it's going to be kind of long because we're going to add some factors here, and I'm just going to put a vertical line there. Okay, and what I need is, when I have something on the top and on the bottom, just if I have 4 over 4, they cancel out. The same is going to be true on this with my units. So if I put miles on the top, and I want to get rid of that because I'm trying to get to how much money it would cost me, I'm going to put miles on the bottom. Okay, and that way those will cancel out. And then I'm going to put gallons on top, because if I look through my problem, I know that I have something dealing with miles and gallons if I look at that 28 miles per gallon. Okay, so when it's just over per gallon, that means 1 gallon, and then the 28 goes with the miles underneath. And that means miles cancels, which is what I want. Okay, but I'm not where I want to be yet, because I want to know how much money it costs, not how many gallons it's going to take. So I'm going to draw another line and use another conversion factor. And conversion factors are things that I know is true. I know that my car gets 28 miles for every gallon of gas I put in. I also know that gas costs $2.50 for every gallon I put in. So I need my gallons to cancel. It's on the top right now, so I'm going to put it on the bottom. And I've already used my miles and gallons one, so I'm not going to use that again. But I have something with dollars and gallons, so I can put dollars on top. And so now I'm going to put in my numbers. It's per gallon, so that means for every gallon, which is 1, it's $2.50. So I'm going to put that on top. Now I'm where I want to be, and my gallons have canceled, so my final unit is dollars, and I want to know how much money, so I'm matching. That's what I want. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with these numbers is I'm going to multiply across the top and divide on the bottom. So I have 320 times 1 times 2.5 divided by 28 divided by 1, and that's going to give me $29. Okay, we'll do another, we can use this for metric to English conversions as well. If I want to know how many centimeters 12 inches is, I know that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Okay, so I can use that as a conversion factor. So I'm going to start with my known, which is 12 inches. Excuse me. I'm going to draw my line, and I'm going to draw my first vertical line, and I'm starting with inches on the top. So I know I'm going to have to put inches on the bottom, and I need centimeters on top because that's what I'm looking for. And also, if I look, that's what my conversion factor is. So my conversion factor tells me there's 1 inch, so the 1 has to stay with the inch for every 2.54 centimeters. So that has to go on top with the centimeters. My inches are going to cancel, and then I'm going to multiply on the top and divide on the bottom. So I have 12 times 2.54 divided by 1. And that's going to give me 30 centimeters. Okay, we're going to do a few more practice ones. 95 miles equals how many kilometers? And I know that 1 kilometer is 0.62 miles. So I'm going to write my known, 95 miles. Draw my railroad tracks, is what we call this. Okay, so I start with miles on top, so miles has to go on the bottom in order to cancel, and my conversion factor gives me kilometers on the other side of that. So I'm going to leave my numbers attached to their units, so 0.62 is with miles, so it's going to stay there, and 1 goes with kilometers. My miles are going to cancel, and then I take 95 times 1, I multiply on the top, and then I divide it by what's on the bottom, so divided by 0.62, and that gives me 150 kilometers. Okay, next one. 425 pounds is how many kilograms, and I know 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. I'm getting these conversion factors. These are something you could look up in a book or online that are always true. So 425 pounds, draw my railroad tracks. I know pounds has to go on the bottom, and my conversion factor gives me kilograms, which goes on top. Okay, so 2.2 sticks with pounds, 1 sticks with kilograms. My pounds unit cancel, and I end with kilograms. I'm going to multiply in the top, so I have 425 times 1 divided by 2.2, and I get about 190 kilograms. Okay, this next one's going to show us a two-step problem, which is actually what we started with when we calculated how much money we would need to pay for that gas. So 250 grams is how many pounds? So I have 250 grams, and I have to put grams on the bottom. And if I look at my two conversion factors, I don't have one that has grams and pounds in the same one. I have one that has grams and ounces, so that's what I have to use here. Okay, so I'm going to put 28 stays with grams and 1 stays with ounce, and I'm going to extend my railroad tracks, okay, because I'm not where I want to be. I wanted pounds, not ounces. So now I'm going to put ounces on the bottom so that it will cancel, and I do have a conversion factor with ounces and pounds. So I can draw that in. I have 16 ounces on the bottom and 1 pound on top. I'm going to cancel out grams, cancel out ounces, and I have pounds left. So then I need to multiply across the top. So I have 250 times 1 times 1, and I divide by what's on the bottom. So divided by 28, divided by 16, and that's going to give me about 0.56 pounds. Okay, a couple more with different things. 2.4 years is how many hours? I know 1 year is 365 days, and 1 day has 24 hours in it. So I'm going to convert. I write my known. 2.4 years. I draw my railroad tracks. Years has to go on the bottom, and I can't go straight to hours because I don't have that, but I do have days. So I'm going to do 1 year as 365 days, and my years cancel. And I'm going to extend my railroad tracks because I'm not where I want to be. I want to be to hours. So days goes on the bottom, hours goes on top. 1 day is 24 hours. My days cancel, and now I just need to do the math. So I have 2.4 times 365 times 24, and then divided by the bottom, which is just 1, so it's not going to affect it. So that gives me 21,024 hours. Okay, 16.25 gallons is how many milliliters? Well, I need some conversion factors, so I know that 1 gallon is 3.7854 liters, and 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. So I'm going to start with my known, which is gallons. Draw my railroad tracks. Gallons has to go on the bottom. Well, I don't have gallons to milliliters, I have gallons to liters. So liters is going to have to go on top for right now. And I leave my number with my unit, so I have 3.7854 over 1. My gallons cancel. I'm going to extend my railroad tracks because I'm not done yet. And I need liters to cancel out, so liters is going to go on the bottom, and now I can use my milliliters. So I have 1 liter is in 1,000 milliliters. I'm going to cancel my liters, and now I just need to do the math. So I multiply across the top and divide on the bottom. So I have 16.25 times 3.7854 times 1,000 divided by 1 divided by 1. And that's going to give me 61,510 milliliters. Okay, 4.75 miles is how many meters? I know that for every kilometer it's 0.621 miles, and then 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So I have 4.75 miles. Draw my railroad tracks. Miles has to go on the bottom to cancel. I don't have miles straight to meters. I have miles to kilometers. So that's what I'm going to have to use. I keep my numbers with their units. So 1 kilometer, 0.621 miles. Miles cancels. I'm not where I want to be yet, so I need to extend my railroad tracks. Okay, kilometers goes on the bottom. Meters goes on top. 1 kilometer and 1,000 meters. Kilometers cancel. Now I'm going to do the math. So I multiply across the top. I have 4.75 times 1 times 1,000, and then I divide by the bottom. Divided by 0.621 divided by 1, and that gives me 7,650 meters. Okay, one more thing I want to cover before we end this video is working with cubic units. If you're trying to go from feet to meters, okay, feet cubed to meters cubed, I may know that 1 meter is 3.28 feet. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, write my known, do feet on the bottom, and meters on top. However, because it's cubed, I have to cancel it 3 times. And meters has to be cubed, so I need to multiply it 3 times. So I'm going to use the exact same conversion factor 3 times. Okay, so then you're going to do 0.1 times 1 times 1 times 1, multiplying across the top, dividing on the bottom, so you divide by 3.28, divide by 3.28 again, and divide by 3.28 one more time. When you do that, that's going to give you 0.003 meters cubed. Okay, one more practice on that. 9,500 inches cubed is how many centimeters cubed? I know for every inch I have 2.54 centimeters, but again, it's cubed. So I need it to cancel out 3 different times. Okay, so I'm going to extend my railroad tracks. There I go. I'm going to put centimeters on top. I'm going to use the same conversion factor every time. That's fine. But I need to multiply it and divide it 3 times. So I'm dividing by 1 here, so that's not going to change anything. I'm going to do 9,500 times 2.54 times 2.54 times 2.54, and that's going to give me 1.6 times 10 to